Hello, welcome to Leveraging Data in Marketing Engagement Tools to deliver enhanced client experiences. My name is John Patton. I'm the Vice President of Data Services here at Provisio. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Marketing Cloud Account Engagement, the tool, what that solution entails. We'll talk about the client experience from intake to pre-visit to post-visit survey, and then we'll talk about the tool and how it gives you analytics on all of those different moments and helps you understand how that actually works together. I want to talk first before we launch into showing off the tool about a platform approach to marketing engagement. When we think about marketing engagement, we're thinking about how are we actually curating experiences for our constituents. In this case, we're talking about a client. So as we get to know the client, first, who are they? What's their name? What's their email address? What's that core information? We're going to fill that information into a field. When you have those fields organized into a structure, that's called an object in Salesforce. So all those fields like first name, last name, email address, etc., would be organized into an object. And that object would be something like the contact object, if you're familiar with that. As you add more contacts into your system in that contact object, those are called records. So if I had 10 people in my system, I would have 10 records. And those records that exist inside of an instance of Salesforce are inside of an application. I like to think of it like a Rubik's Cube. So if I'm writing an email and I want to leverage my data, my application, what I'm doing is I'm using an email tool and I'm referencing a field in an object. What's the implication of this? The implication of this is that any field that you're collecting information in, you can then use that field for your marketing purposes. So if I'm collecting first name, I can always reference that first name. If I'm collecting information, demographic information about a person, I can use filters or segments based on that demographic information. The beauty of having a platform approach is that anywhere you're collecting the information, you can then present that information for personalization, segmentation, or exclusions. So as we think about Marketing Cloud account engagement fueled with data, what we're really thinking about is how do we collect and understand information about our client so that we can curate those prescriptive experiences across our application, whether that be a phone call, an email, even a marketing automation. So what does a marketing solution typically entail? Well, you have to have a way to build a client profile. How do you understand who this person is? What characteristics they have? What's their information? What's their email address, right? All of that. So you have to be able to build that client profile. Once you have those profiles, you tend to segment that information because it's hard to have one email that's relevant to every single person. In the example of a client who's going to be visiting a healthcare provider, maybe we want to build a segment of everyone who's going to, who has an appointment scheduled in the next 14 days, right? That would be a segment. From there, we want to make sure that we have the ability to communicate with that individual as well. So what does that look like? Personalized emails, tasks for phone calls for the internal users to reach out, or even journey automations where based on the decisions that the individual makes, their experience changes. If they don't open the email, maybe they get a text. If they don't respond to the text, maybe they get a phone call. But any marketing automation solution needs to be able to understand who a person is, put them into segments, and then communicate with that person. So let's talk about what this practically looks like for a client. We'll kind of go through this journey together. We'll go through intake and scheduling, pre-visit, the day of visit, and then post-appointment and follow-up. So client intake. One of the things that's so compelling about that platform approach we talked about earlier is regardless of whether a person is calling in, filling out a clipboard or an iPad in person, or on the website, filling out the information themselves, they have the ability to go through a client intake. And as we take in information about this client, we have the ability, of course, to take that information and present it into our system. So you can see here, we're filling out that object with the information that we're capturing. Once we have that information in our system, we now can reach out, leveraging the information in our system to personalize that experience. So in this case, something as simple as the first name we've captured in our intake is being used to personalize the email that we're sending to confirm that Peter is now in our system. Once Peter is in the system, we want to schedule an appointment. Again, because we have that profile, because we know information about Peter and he's already in our platform, we have the ability to schedule that appointment. That's a new piece of information that we've collected. That's another field that we're grabbing information in. And what does that do? That allows us to confirm our communication because that schedule is just a piece of data in our cube of data that we can now use to personalize that experience for Peter. So that intake to scheduling is really simple for the clients and really simple for the internal user because it's leveraging the exact same set of data. Now, once we have a person scheduled, we want to make sure that they, of course, show up for their appointment. So what we're going to run through here is a marketing automation journey. And you can see here that we're going to start at the top with someone who is entering our system. Maybe in this case, they got an appointment scheduled. And then we're going to send an email reminder. Hey, don't forget that you have this appointment scheduled. And based on their behavior, if they click the link in that email and they say, yes, I'm confirmed, we're going to end that journey because they've confirmed they're going to show up. But what if they don't show up? Or what if they don't click the link in the email? Well, we're going to follow up and send a reminder over SMS saying, hey, don't forget, you didn't respond to our email. So here's the SMS saying, don't forget your appointment is scheduled right here. Click this link to confirm. And if they click that link, then we're going to end the journey. But what if they don't click the link? Well, in that case, we're going to create a follow-up call for an internal user to actually pick up the phone and call them and confirm that appointment. What are we doing here? We're letting marketing automation serve as the interface for the client as much as possible, up until the point where the client is non-responsive, in which case then and only then are we instilling a manual intervention and actually calling that person. This allows your internal users to be highly efficient with their time by focusing only on the clients that are not confirmed. What about the day of the appointment? Well, as soon as a person gets there, of course, we want to send them a reminder. Hey, it's the day of, you're a certain amount of time out. Maybe it looks something like this. Hey, Peter, your appointment starts in 60 minutes. To confirm, please click here. To confirm that you're here, to tell us you're ready to go, you're going to be there, go ahead and click that link and confirm. But what if they don't respond to that text? Well, at that point now, maybe we want to actually go through and have a high priority call scheduled to confirm that Peter is going to be at his appointment. So he does not click on that link. We can see here at the top. We then put him in a new journey or new flow path where it says, hey, make sure you call to confirm that Peter is in fact going to be at this event. So at this appointment. So okay, we go ahead and give Peter a call. And then we have logic built into our flow. Did Peter, in fact, confirm? And if the answer is yes, that Peter confirmed, then we're good to go. But if Peter didn't confirm, then we may want to notify the healthcare provider that they're scheduled with that we've tried multiple times to confirm an appointment with Peter, but this person is not confirmed. That would allow them to know what their scheduling may have some adjustments that need to be made. And that's here at this notify user. So person does not confirm the appointment, even though they've confirmed previously, even though we've sent them a text, and even though we've tried to call them and ensure they're going to be there, we're at least giving that office notification that this person is potentially not showing up. So after the visit, what that could look like using a marketing automation platform. One of the great things about a marketing automation platform is you can really quickly and easily stand up forms. And so here we have something as simple as first name, last name, and satisfaction rating. Now, the great thing is since we're leveraging that unified platform approach, like we talked about earlier, we can either ask for this information or we can even pre-fill this information. So the link that Peter would get in his post-visit survey, when he clicks that link, his first name will be populated, his last name will be populated, and his email address will be populated. All he would have to do is go through and rank the different, the satisfaction rating with the visit. The other thing we can do is do hidden fields. And this is really compelling because let's say for some reason, Peter gave us a different email address and we had multiple Peter Webbers in our system. Well, we can actually put a hidden field that's pre-filled out with a client ID, an internal identifier. And Peter wouldn't have access to edit that field and it would be hidden, but that ensures that the output from this form is actually making its way back onto the correct record in our system. The thing that's really powerful about this is that it ensures that you're able to capture not only, of course, all the behavioral data that you've been seeing. Did they click this? Did they open that? All of that. But you're also able to capture things like survey data or form fillouts and put that on the record for Peter Weber. Once Peter is done with that survey, we can decide what happens next. We can send an autoresponder email. We can tag him as the rating of his survey. We can send him to a thank you page. We can do whatever we want. But all of the information that survey fill out, all the behavioral data that Peter has given us by clicking is all available on that profile. It's feeding into that cube we saw of data. All of this information is available. Practical use case here, if Peter was very unsatisfied, maybe we want to set up an auto response task that says, you gave us a low rating, please schedule a time to share your feedback with someone about why you gave us this low rating, right? Because the data is connected, because it's all in one platform, all of those follow-up tasks and all of that information is available to you to follow up on. Because it's all connected to that record. It's all connected to Peter's record. Now, because this is all in a single location, it lets us build some really compelling dashboards. So if I wanted to look programmatically at what is working, what is ultimately getting our clients to respond and confirm appointments and validate that they're there, right? All of the above. I have dashboards that come out of the box to help us to understand communication effectiveness. That could be landing page reports, form fill outs, emails, etc. But I also have the ability, because it's a unified platform, to take that data and put it in a broader context, right? To say, okay, I can actually track the number of inbound referrals that we got, the number of outbound emails we sent to those referrals, the open rate, and I can actually start to see at a high level how my marketing communication program fits into my broader strategy. And I can start to say, if we have certain deficiencies, maybe we need to revisit our, appointment reminder journey, because we get a lot of appointments set, but not a lot of people confirming those appointments. That's the beauty of having it all in a unified marketing and client relationship database, right? To have it all in a single platform is that it gives you the ability to combine your metrics so that you're looking at not only the data that you have about the individual that they've given you, but also that behavioral data. And then you're able to curate experiences and measure the effectiveness more broadly, instead of having your marketing data siloed, your CRM data siloed, and other data silos. So, key takeaways. Here's kind of the flow that we think really helps understand what's going on. When you have a unified data model, right, you're able to build automated communication plans aware of who that person is. So whether that's appointment reminders or surveys and follow up for satisfaction, you're able to build those automated communication plans. But those communication plans feel personalized. It's based on my appointment time, my name, what you know about me. So it doesn't just feel programmatic, but it actually feels like you understand why I'm coming, who I'm visiting, when I'm visiting, all that information. So you're automating your communication at scale, but you're doing it in a personalized way. And that's really what you're trying to think through when we're trying to maximize the client experience, is how do we create personalized and meaningful experiences at scale? Once you've created those experiences, you've got that combined client profile. So of course, everything they've told you about themselves, Of course, all the, referrals and the appointments and all the information that you're tracking in your system of record, you've got that. But you've also got their behavioral data. You also know that Peter doesn't open email, right? But does respond to texts. That tells me that I can put him in a text only segment, right? I'm able to take all of the data we've learned and all of the data we've inferred and combine that into a combined client profile. And guess what that does? That feeds my unified data model. So that helps me build better segments. And there's a virtuous cycle of learning where your data is interconnected, which helps all four of these practices improve. So the unified platform approach is incredibly helpful to improve client experiences. Thank you for listening, and thank you for joining the webinar.